Hey guys, this is Russ Clark with Technical Associates of Charlotte. And I know you guys have seen several of our different little series that we do, but we're going to try something different. Don't know what we're going to call this yet, but for now we'll call it Maintenance Quick Tech Tips. And today I wanted to talk to you guys about bearing lubrication. So this right here is an SKF 222/18, but this applies to every rolling element bearing out there. Studies have shown that up to 80% of bearing failures are lubrication related. So everyone understands that under lubrication is bad, not good for your bearings at all. Now, is over lubrication just as bad? It is, and there are several reasons for that. So when you get a new bearing that is sealed, say for instance that this one was sealed and already pre-filled with grease, from the manufacturer, they'd probably have somewhere between 25 and 35% filled. And there's a reason for that. Bearings are designed to not be filled all the way up with grease. If this thing is overfilled, you're going to run into several different issues. The first one being that rather than having your elements roll like they should, like they are here, I've got a large tapered rolling element here. Say that the table is the outer race. Under normal circumstances, it should be rolling, like so. In an overfilled condition, rather than roll, you're actually going to have a little bit of skidding. So the rolling element's going to just push, and in the process, you're pushing the grease out of the way of the rolling element. It's just pushing it right out to the side. So you lose your lubrication layer that is in between your race and your rolling element. That's not good to start with. Second issue is that when you overfill a bearing, if it is a sealed or shielded bearing, when you get to a certain point, these seals on sealed bearings are only designed to hold about 500 psi or so. Your average grease gun can get up to 15,000 pounds per square inch of pressure. So if you put too much grease in there, not only the volume but the pressure is going to end up blowing those seals right out. And the issue that you're going to find is when your seals blow out or your shields on shielded bearings end up collapsing, you're allowing not only the grease to come out, but you're also allowing dirt and water to get in. That's not good for the grease and that's not good for the bearing. That ends up accelerating the oxidation of the grease, and the grease just becomes unusable at that point. It doesn't do its job of lubricating the bearing. The final thing pertains particularly to electric motors with rolling elements in it. So if you end up over greasing one of these, typically what you'll find is if it doesn't come out the outside, it will end up coming out the inside, and you'll end up eventually possibly completely packing the motor housing with grease. That's going to cause frictional loss, which therefore makes it so the motor is pulling more amperage than it's designed to, and it decreases your electrical efficiency. So several reasons why not only do you not want to under lubricate, but you don't want to over lubricate your bearings either. So if you need help with figuring out how much grease you need, what type of grease, and what your intervals are, most bearing manufacturers are going to have a calculator on their website, or their technical department might be able to help you as well. So if you guys have any other kinds of tips or stuff that you think is important for the maintenance community to know, please share it with us. We would love to have additional insight and comment from you guys. So hope to hear from you, and have a good day.